Scarlett Johansson has officially made Saturday Night Live history, becoming the very first woman ever to host the legendary show a record-breaking 7 times. Wrapping up SNL's iconic 50th season, Scarlett didn't just appear. She owned the stage, serving up a show-stopping musical performance, unforgettable sketches, and even a surprise onstage kiss from husband Colin Jost. But beyond the glittering spotlight of this SNL victory lies a whirlwind journey, from child star to Marvel's Black Widow, from Hollywood's box office queen to award-caliber performances. This isn't just a career, it's an empire. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button, because today, we're diving deep into the unstoppable rise, hidden struggles, and jaw-dropping secrets of Scarlett Johansson. And trust me, you won't believe what it took for her to get here.
From humble beginnings to Hollywood royalty, Scarlett Johansson's early years.
Scarlett Ingrid Johansson was born on November 22, 1984, in New York City, into a creative and encouraging family. Her father, Karsten Johansson, an architect from Denmark, and her mother, Melanie Sloan, a producer with Jewish roots from the Bronx, shaped her early world. Scarlett was raised in a humble household alongside her older sister, Vanessa, who also pursued acting, her twin brother, Hunter, and her older half-brother, Christian, from her father's earlier marriage. From the very beginning, she was surrounded by art and performance. Her grandfather worked as a screenwriter, while her mother nurtured her passion for acting by taking her to auditions as a child. But it wasn't always shining lights and red carpets. Her parents split when she was only 13, forcing her to mature quickly. Still, through every challenge, one truth stood out. Scarlett was born for the spotlight.
A star was born, Scarlett's childhood passion and early struggles.
Scarlett's passion for acting sparked at an early age. She made her stage debut at just 8 years old in an off-Broadway play. By the time she was 9, she scored her very first film role in North, 1994. But her true breakout arrived with The Horse Whisperer, 1998, where director Robert Redford famously described her as 13 going on 30. Even as her fame grew, Scarlett faced hurdles, bullying at school for chasing her acting dreams, and the heavy weight of being a young star in Hollywood. She first attended PS 41 in Greenwich Village, but later transferred to the Professional Children's School to juggle both education and acting. Fun fact, Scarlett actually auditioned for Jumanji and Little Women as a kid, but didn't land the roles. Still, rejection never slowed her down. Beyond acting, she had a love for music. She went on to release 2 albums, and she admired old Hollywood icons like Marilyn Monroe. By her teenage years, Scarlett had already become a critically praised indie favorite, proving that even as a kid, she wasn't just pretending on screen, she was destined to OWN every role. And from here, her rise to superstardom only gets more fascinating.
The grit for behind the glamour. Scarlett Johansson's early career struggles.
Scarlett Johansson's path to stardom was far from simple. Hollywood didn't hand her success. She had to fight for every bit of it. After her breakout role in The Horse Whisperer, 1998, the industry began to pay attention, but making the leap from child actor to leading woman was anything but smooth. In her late teens, she struggled with typecasting, as critics wrote her off as just another pretty face in forgettable projects like 8-Legged Freaks, 2002. Even her undeniable talent couldn't fully protect her from Hollywood's deep-rooted sexism. Directors often underestimated her, while the roles offered to young women were either hypersexualized or flat and one-dimensional. But Scarlett refused to be cornered. She made a daring shift into independent films, delivering powerful, haunting performances in Lost in Translation, 2003, and Girl with a Pearl Earring, 2003, proving she wasn't just a teenage actress, she was a force. Scarlett was nearly fired from Lost in Translation for being considered too young, but her audition was so powerful it moved Sofia Coppola to tears. That's the undeniable strength of raw talent. Still, behind the spotlight, she wrestled with self-doubt, endless rejection from the industry, and the constant pressure to mold herself into unrealistic beauty standards. Studios pushed for her to be softer, sexier, more marketable, but Scarlett stood her ground, fighting to be respected as a true artist. And just when Hollywood thought it had her all figured out, she reinvented herself once again. This is the hidden story of how resilience shaped an icon. Stay tuned, because her comeback wasn't just big, it was legendary.
From indie darling to blockbuster superstar, Scarlett's meteoric rise.
After establishing herself as Hollywood's indie queen, Scarlett Johansson took her boldest leap yet, conquering the blockbuster world. Rocket by the mid-2000s, she was reinventing herself as an action star, stepping into the legendary role of Black Widow in Iron Man 2, 2010. But this transformation came with its own challenges. Marvel executives were skeptical, doubting whether a woman could truly lead an action franchise. Scarlett, however, was undeterred. She trained tirelessly, performing nearly 90% of her own stunts, and fought to give her character real depth in a superhero universe dominated by men. Behind the cameras, she was also shattering barriers as one of Hollywood's highest-paid actresses. All the while, she was battling the gender pay gap, famously standing firm during tough salary negotiations. At the same time, Scarlett proved her versatility by voicing the AI Samantha in her 2013, showing that her talent went far beyond physical performances. This period of her life also came with relentless media attention. Every relationship scrutinized, and the challenges of motherhood constantly played out in public. During the filming of Avengers: Age of Ultron, Scarlett was pregnant for much of the shoot, cleverly concealing her bump through smart camera tricks and stunt doubles. Yet, despite it all, Scarlett rose even stronger, evolving into not only an actress, but also a producer, an activist, and an undeniable A-list powerhouse who redefined what it truly means to be a woman in Hollywood.
Reinvention and raw power, Scarlett's artistic evolution and activism.
Just when the world thought they had Scarlett Johansson locked into the role of an action superstar, she shocked everyone again, delivering career-defining performances in bold, unconventional roles. Her groundbreaking work in Marriage Story, 2019, exposed the raw, gut-wrenching pain of divorce, earning her an Oscar nomination and proving her dramatic power had only grown stronger with time. But as she climbed to new artistic heights, Scarlett also faced heated controversies, from defending her casting in Rub and Tug, a role she later stepped away from, to her very public battle with Disney over Black Widow's streaming release, where she fearlessly went head-to-head with the studio giant to protect artists' rights. Off-screen, Scarlett's influence was just as powerful. She became a leading voice for women's equality, co-founding the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund and speaking out against Hollywood's systemic bias. At the same time, she embraced motherhood in producing through her company. These pictures, no longer just an actress, but a visionary shaping the future of the industry itself. Fun fact: Scarlett actually turned down the Black Widow solo film 3 times until Marvel allowed her to have a hand in shaping Natasha's story. That's how you negotiate like a boss. Now, whether she's dominating the screen or fighting for real change behind the scenes, one thing is undeniable. Scarlett Johansson isn't just surviving Hollywood. She's redefining it, entirely on her own terms.
Behind the scenes, Scarlett Johansson's private world and lavish lifestyle.
Beyond the flashing cameras and glittering red carpets, Scarlett Johansson has built a life that perfectly balances Hollywood glamour with grounded authenticity. Known for her understated yet luxurious lifestyle, she divides her time between a $4 million Manhattan townhouse and a peaceful upstate New York estate, where she enjoys privacy alongside her husband, Saturday Night Live star Colin Jost, and their 2 children. A proud homebody at heart, Scarlett treasures the simple moments: cooking Italian dishes, a skill she sharpened during quarantine, playing the piano, and immersing herself in her collection of vintage jazz records. But when she does step into the spotlight, she does it in unforgettable fashion, whether dazzling in head-to-toe Dolce & Gabbana at the Met Gala or effortlessly turning heads in her signature combo of a leather jacket and Converse sneakers. Her personal life hasn't been without its share of turbulence. 2 high-profile divorces, first from Ryan Reynolds and later from Romain Doriac, along with relentless media scrutiny over her relationships, taught Scarlett to fiercely protect her privacy. But today, she's found balance and stability with Colin Jost, sharing lighthearted social media banter and constantly supporting each other's careers. Away from the cameras, Scarlett uses her platform to champion progressive causes, from women's rights to environmental activism, and even explores her entrepreneurial side by co-owning a premium sparkling wine brand. Whether she's relaxing in her garden, hosting cozy dinner gatherings, or escaping to a French chateau, Scarlett shows that true star power isn't defined by fame alone. It's about living fearlessly, both on and off the screen.
The legacy lives on. Scarlett Johansson's unstoppable journey.
From a wide-eyed child performer to one of Hollywood's most influential leading women, Scarlett Johansson's journey is defined by relentless passion, resilience, and constant reinvention. She shattered barriers as Black Widow, brought audiences to tears through unforgettable indie dramas, and fearlessly fought for equality behind the curtain, all while building a life rooted in love, artistry, and purpose. Whether she's dominating the box office, pushing for real change, or simply cherishing a quiet evening at home with her family, Scarlett proves that true success isn't measured by fame alone. It's about staying authentic, embracing growth, and refusing to back down. As she continues to evolve as an actress, producer, and activist, one thing is clear. Scarlett Johansson isn't just a star. She's a force of nature, and her greatest chapters are still unfolding. Want more powerful deep dives into Hollywood's most inspiring icons? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell us in the comments which legend we should spotlight next.